Welcome back to another episode of Untitled Conversations. This is the podcast where we talk about everything faith, life, and the world as we know it. Last week, I know I left y'all hanging. I left y'all hanging on a great conversation. Me and my brother, we were just getting into, Psalms 23, different Bible stories. I get it, but we're back. We're back. Relax. It's okay. Here is the rest of that conversation. Let's get into it. So we're just going to go through some Bible stories at this point now. We gotta go to I think Josh's favorite story of the Bible is our boy Petar
in the Gospels.
Favorite story in the Gospels is Peter walking on the water. I don't know which gospel you want to go to. You pick. It's your favorite. While he's finding that, I want you guys to drop your favorite story or parable or favorite gospel in the comments. You got Matthew. Matthew's very detail oriented. You got Mark. Mark is a little, you know what I'm saying, more broad, more big, wide scale. Luke wasn't even a disciple whole time. He was in the weeds telling us stuff that we don't even got in Matthew and John. You know what I'm saying? Luke is my personal favorite gospel. And then John was just John. John was my favorite. But they all come together. You found it?
Oh yeah, hold on.
You just gotta tell me which one we're going to.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna come back in a brief moment. So there's gonna be a cut right here, and then we're gonna come back.
All right, bet.
And we're back. So, favorite Bible story: walking on the water. Peter and the disciples is out in the boat.
Mm-hmm.
They out there in the boat.
In the boat.
It's a little rough out there. At first, it wasn't rough.
No, they had that vision. They chilling.
They in there, chilling.
It's that night. It's late at night. They chilling.
Late at night.
In the boat. You know what I'm saying?
In the boat, chilling.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the story because I just feel like we are a lot like Peter.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what's crazy? I think in the last episode I was talking about Psalms 23. I was also saying how, like, a lot of times in the Bible we think we are certain characters and we really are not.
For sure.
Those characters with the
For
other
sure.
characters. So, like, we all think we David. Whole time.
We not.
We not David.
Also, the slingshot that David had, have you seen the videos?
I have.
He shot Goliath.
Correct. With a pistol.
He shot Goliath.
He did. He 1000% did.
Not just like I mean,
because when I thought about, like,
I was like,
I thought it was like I'm thinking like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, or like, it was like and like Jesus had, Jesus was in it, God was
correct,
in it,
right?
But like,
no,
he was slanging them joints.
correct. Yes.
So
for anybody that hasn't seen it, just look up slingshot in real life and someone actively using
a real slingshot.
Not
crazy.
Not one you just pull back and let go, like an
one of them
actual
one of them things, you know what I'm saying?
Look it up.
Crazy.
But anyway, so we're in Matthew 14 verse 22.
Yeah.
So it says immediately, it's going to come up right here again.
Right there.
Immediately, he made the disciples get into a boat and go ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. So this is coming from them feeding the 5,000. So anybody that is unfamiliar with
scripture knowledge.
You see me.
I see you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Scripture knowledge.
Between reading and actually watching The Chosen, it's helped my memory because
sure.
I'm a visual person. So
for
being
sure.
able to see it
for sure
as I'm reading it and then like continuing to study it, it's really good.
For sure.
But yes, so Jesus is basically dismissing everybody from feeding the 5,000. The disciples, they came, they broke the bread and the fish, multiplied it, because that's what Jesus do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They fed the 5,000, even though it was more than 5,000, because it says it was 5,000 men. But the men were accompanied by women and children. So Jesus was really that guy for you.
Like 10,000, something like that.
Right. So I'm gonna just kind of fly through this. You know what? We're just gonna read it.
Let's do it.
Verse 23, after dismissing the crowd, he went up to the mountain by himself to pray. Well into the night, he was there alone. Meanwhile, the boat was already some distance from the land. Ooh, that's not what you call it. Hold on. We got study Bibles. Sorry. Where did it say before that? Meanwhile, sorry, y'all, my page just got stuck. Meanwhile, the boat was already some distance from the land, battered by waves because the wind was against them. Jesus came towards them, walking on the sea very early in the morning. So let's paint the picture.
Okay.
The disciples, they out in the boat.
Right.
The boat is.
Come on.
They rocking.
Right.
They rocking real hard. They
Right.
scared. They like, oh my God, what we gonna do? Where's
For
Jesus?
sure.
Right.
I would do the same thing.
Meanwhile, early in the morning, so it's given the sun has not yet risen.
Or maybe it's like, it's not. It's still dark.
It's still dark, but like
Yeah.
it's like blue sky, not black sky.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And Jesus come walking on the water, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and they cried out in fear. Because respectfully, if imagine me and you, this is a boat. It's dark. It's not no lights on. I was gonna cut the lights off, but I'm not gonna do that. It's dark.
Cut the lights off.
No, it's
Okay.
dark. And you see a figure. I'm scared too. In the middle of the ocean.
I don't think it doesn't matter if we're in the ocean or not. If I see a strange figure walking towards me on
In the
land,
dark, period.
Let
alone on water where things aren't walking.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
So immediately Jesus spoke to them. Have courage. It is I. Do not be afraid. Lord, if it is you, Peter answered him, command me to come on the water. He said, come. And climbing out of the boat, Peter started walking on the water and came towards Jesus. Pause. Respectfully, if the Lord tell me to do anything, I'm going.
For sure.
So shout out to Peter.
For sure.
But I think I would have hesitated.
For sure. I think this whole interaction between Peter and Jesus is just like
crazy.
But it's us, right? It's
Yeah.
like somebody walking to you, you can't see who it is.
Yep.
Peter like, if it's you, Lord, tell me to come out there then. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna test your gangster.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And yeah, some hesitation. This is what I picture Peter like get out the boat.
Yeah.
It was probably like, you know what I'm saying, he probably like stuck a leg out and was like touching it. Was like,
can I hold on? Hold on.
I don't know.
Right.
It's solid. It feel like the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he put another foot out and it's like, all right, he's sitting on the side. And it's like, I'm gonna get up.
He stood up.
And it's like, hold on.
Wait a second.
I'm gonna try it. Oh, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hesitation for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But because then too, I don't know if because then it goes into, but when he saw the strength of the wind, he was afraid and began to sink and cried out, Lord, save me. Right? Because I think it's either in Luke or in John, one of the versions also says like he took his eyes off of Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was fine walking on the water. Jesus said, come. He gets out the boat, just how you just illustrated, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's nervous at first, and then he's looking at the Lord, right? The Lord's probably like, look at me, like, keep your eyes on me, focus on me, right? And a lot of times, the Lord will tell us to do something, right? The Lord will give us an instruction, and he's like, come do this, right? And we immediately will take that and run with it, turn the opposite direction from the Lord, and wonder why it doesn't work, because the whole time the Lord said, come to me. How you gonna come to me if you looking at what's around you? Right? So Peter gets to looking around instead of focusing on Jesus, and then he begins to sink, and now he's scared, and now he's crying, Lord, save me. Whole time, you didn't do what he said. He said, come to me. You're supposed to focus on him.
Right.
So now you're sinking, and sinking sand. He's sinking in the water, but you see,
Stupid.
He's
stupid.
sinking, and now he's crying, Lord, save me, right? And immediately Jesus reached out his hand, caught hold on him, and said to him, you of little faith, why did you doubt? So it's like, mind you, Jesus knew how this entire interaction was going to go. Right? Because he's Jesus. He knows everything.
For sure.
But like you said, oftentimes we are Peter, because Jesus says, come. Jesus says, go out there and do this thing, right? And it's like, Lord, this is crazy. What do you mean? We go, we do it. Like I said, we grab a hold of it. We turn, run in the opposite direction. And then we are Peter screaming, Lord, help me. But he's like, you had little faith. You didn't have the faith. Because respectfully, Peter was acting in pride. Lord, if it's you, tell me what's up.
No, and I think that's why I love his story so much. It's like, it shows all the humanness of Peter, which is also the humanness of us.
Correct.
Right? Like, we like to, say like, oh, like, well, God, if you go, if you real, then show
Right,
me
right,
this.
right.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
If you real, then this prove it to me.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, how dare we take that posture?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think also it goes back to just as we read these stories now.
Yep.
But then we also have to put ourselves in the the water ball is in the frame. My bad.
It's fine.
That was distracting. But also have to put like ourselves in this picture of like, dang, I lost my place. Hold on, I gotta find it.
You're good. Help him, Holy Spirit. Find it.
Stop. Okay, got it. But yeah, us as humans and testing the Lord, right?
Yeah.
We try to test and we try to say, oh well, like if God, if you're gonna do this, if it's really you, then show me this, right? And I think Peter is us, right? Like you said, got out the boat, was fine, because what? Focused on the Lord. But we don't need to do that, right? Like,
yeah.
In this situation, it's a very dire situation, right? It's like,
for sure,
you're walking on water.
Correct. It's a little bit different.
Take your eyes off the Lord, you start drowning. Like, bro, you can die.
But at the same time, everything is that dire.
Sure.
Especially in today, like where we're at in our biblical timeline, respectfully, everything is that dire.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, if you take your eyes off the Lord for a half a second,
it could be it.
It could be derailing.
For
you know what I'm saying?
I think I just found my thought.
Okay.
I think we like read these stories now and forget like what the disciples and who the disciples were.
Yeah.
The disciples were us just then. Right?
Correct. Yes.
Very human.
They just happened to be
ordinary
here at the
men,
same time as Jesus.
Very like still like I would even say maybe even more questioning and more doubtful about Jesus.
For sure.
And they were living life with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like this idea of Peter being like, all right, well, if it's you, then show me what's up. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
because they didn't have the Bible to reference.
So they're just living and like they're living every day with Jesus, figuring out, okay, like I heard about you from like all these people that was talking about you, but like not as like actually you, and I'm trying to figure out what's up and what's not. You know what I'm saying?
Because in essence, they had more faith than I think we will ever have, because
1,000%.
they had nothing to go based off of outside of the Old Testament.
1,000%.
And the Old Testament was prophecies, and so it's like you had to have faith to believe that he was Jesus.
Right. And it's like he's doing all these things, which is like
for
crazy,
sure.
right? But at the end of the day, it's like you could just be a wizard, boy.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like for real. Like you could just be some powerful being.
Correct.
But the Son of God?
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah.
You know? So
whereas we have stories, we have obviously we have encounters, right?
Sure.
But for times where our faith may waver,
right?
We have
this to go back to.
Entire 66 books,
right,
of stuff to go back to.
Right.
And then eyewitnesses being Matthew and John. It's like, okay, if I can't believe, let me read what they did.
They
with
saw
him.
it, right?
They saw it
right,
firsthand,
right.
So there's that aspect, and I think, like you said, a lot of times we are Peter, but we judge Peter.
And I think also, anytime I read the Gospels and I read about the disciples, I also love to think about like what was going through the brain of the disciples in this moment.
Yeah.
So like in verse 28, 29, it says, Lord, if it's you, Lord, if it's you, Peter answered, command me to come to you on the water. He said, come. And climbing out of the boat, Peter started walking on water and came towards Jesus. I wonder if the word come was like Peter had a flashback to when he found them on the beach fishing and was like, come and follow me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if it was like same voice, same word.
Right.
If Peter was like, oh, shoot.
Right.
It
actually is.
Like, it really might, I can't see him, but it might really be him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, So I got to think about that all the time whenever I read anything about the disciples. It's like, what were they thinking? Or like, what,
Yeah.
I view this from like their point of view, right? Like, I'm in this boat. It's pitch black dark outside. There's a
lot of waves.
mysterious figure walking towards me.
Correct.
On no land because I'm in the middle of the water, right?
Yes. The boat is rattling.
Right.
We're scared.
And then
it's over.
he says,
"Come."
No. He says, "I am the Lord."
Yeah.
Right. And you're kind of like,
That ain't
bro,
Jesus.
quit playing.
That's a ghost.
Quit playing.
Yeah.
That's not him, right?
Right.
And he's like, all right, I'm gonna try this. Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come out there, and I'll come out there. He said, come, and he's probably like, whoa.
Wait, you wasn't supposed to say that. You weren't supposed to actually
brother.
tell me that.
Hold on, wait a minute, brother.
Yeah.
Whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that thing of like, it had to. I'm just one. I want to believe there was a flashback moment where he was like, oh, this is Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I whenever I read anything in the gospel with the disciples, you just always love to think about like, okay, perspective, right? Let's think about this in their shoes, or like, you know, the wedding at Cana, right, where Jesus turns water into wine, and the servants are like, or Jesus like, take this to the head.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about the person walking these pitchers to the head of the party.
That was just water.
That Jesus now said is wine.
Now I gotta go pour.
it in front of these people.
Is it gonna be clear or is it gonna be red?
And I'm gonna look crazy when I pour this and it's clear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think in reading scripture, it's one of my favorite things to do is just think about not just like Jesus' perspective, but everybody else's perspective,
right,
that are in these moments.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
So
very fair. Very
fair.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's do one more.
Okay.
Let's do.
You pick one.
You know me. I love the cross. The cross.
Oh, you said there was an L in it. There was
cross.
There's an L in there.
I was trying to roll my R's, but I can't roll my R's.
There's an L in there.
I can't roll my R's. Yeah, let's talk about the cross, because I think for me, I also referenced this in another episode, but I would love to have your perspective. Is the cross. I think, again, growing up in church, and Easter comes once a year, but we often reference the cross even outside of Easter. And I think growing up and hearing it, it just became such a casual thing because of how often we heard about it, right? And in church we danced. It was a whole Easter situation, right?
Easter speeches,
all of that. Shut up.
Easter speeches.
Shut up. Easter speeches, but it was like a whole thing, right?
Sure.
And oftentimes, after we got done dancing, we would come and sit in the crowd, and people would be crying and weeping and all of these things, and it never like made sense to me. Like obviously, it made sense. You know what I'm saying? Like people are crying. It's church. People cry in church all the time. But it always, I never understood the why. Like I knew they were crying because of the crucifixion, but the depth behind the cross and the crucifixion didn't really register until later in life, right? And as we've been going through Matthew in church, but then also me diving in and going through Luke, and like seeing all of the things that I think we as Christians or in church kind of gloss over when it comes to Jesus' crucifixion, has had a very, it's been eye-opening, but I've also cried a lot, right? Because we always talk about the cross. We always talk about Jesus being on the cross and then the resurrection, but we oftentimes forget and skip over what he went through before he even got to the cross, right? So in Matthew chapter 27, if we go to verse can you pull up the ESV version on your phone, please? If we go to
extra save version,
yes, you're so
for those who don't know,
ridiculous. if we go to verse 25, we'll go to verse 24.
Okay.
So at this point, Jesus is in the hands of Pilate, Pontius Pilate, and Pilate has basically brought Jesus and Barabbas to the people, and they basically, during this time of, I think it was the Passover, not Passover, Passover. You basically get this, like, you basically just get to save one person, right? And so Pilate brought Jesus and Barabbas, and he's like, "Who y'all want? Like, who y'all want back with y'all? Y'all got to pick somebody." And the entire crowd of people picks Barabbas. Barabbas was like a vicious, murderous, not great person, menace to society.
If
right?
you want to put it that way, yeah.
He was a menace to society,
For sure.
and they chose Barabbas, right? And so in verse 24, verse 25, all the people answered, "His blood be on us and our children." Then he released Barabbas to them, and having Jesus flogged, handed him over to be crucified. So what does verse 26 read in ESV?
26.
Yeah.
Then he released
Barabbas.
Then he released for them Barabbas, and having scourged Jesus, delivered him to be crucified.
Right. So flogged, scourged, he was beaten very, very bad.
Right.
Right. And so that is something that our Pastor Philip pointed out in his message, I think it was last week. How, like, yes, he was crucified, but like we often skip over the fact that, like, another translation or another gospel will say he was unrecognizable, right, before he got to the cross. Like, he was basically a lump of just flesh and blood before he got to the cross, right? And I think as a kid, I don't think we ever I don't want to say we didn't cover it, but like it wasn't like super. That wasn't something that was deemed super, super important. Like, yes, it was important, but it wasn't something that we focused on, right?
Yeah.
We just focused on him being on the cross, him being buried, him rising 3 days later, right? But what he endured before he even got on the cross is I don't want to say it's crazy, but it's just like,
No, it is
it's
crazy.
something that we take for granted, right? So like when we say by his stripes we are healed, the stripes are the stripes that he took getting beat before he got to the cross. And so for me, it makes me look at myself as like, my Lord and Savior went through this, and I don't care about sin, or I don't care, like, I take that for granted. And I think if we focused more on before the cross as much as we focused on the cross, it would change our perspective and how we, I don't want to say how we sin, because like we are in a sinful world. Sin is inevitable. It's going to happen. But it would change our perspective on sin, and I think allow us to hate sin a little bit more instead of just existing in our sin. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that yes, the cross is just as like the cross is the cross. That is the foundation of our faith. But I think we also have to take time to acknowledge and appreciate and be just as grateful for what he endured. I don't want to say grateful, but yeah, but just as grateful for what he endured before he got to the cross as we are for the cross.
I think you also have to think about like this too, like with Jesus' life, right? The cross is the pinnacle. But could you imagine living every day of your life knowing that that's how it's going to end? You knowing that like this is what I have to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it kind of changes the cross and what it
Yeah.
signifies and what it means.
Yeah.
Because it's like from the time that Jesus could have a cognitive thought.
Yeah.
Right when he was a baby, he was a baby. Right.
For sure. He knew he was coming down here.
But from the time that he could have a cognitive thought about life.
Yeah.
He knew what was like what he was there for.
Yeah.
What his purpose was.
Yeah.
Right. And thinking about his ministry, right? He didn't start ministry till he was 30.
Yeah.
That's like me starting ministry a year ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So for 30 years, just living life,
Mhm.
as Jesus
Yep.
living life. You know that, like, hey,
You know what the end is going to be.
I know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right? Do we know that he knew it was going to be crucifixion? I don't know.
Right.
But we knew that, like, hey, I am going to die for the sins of this world
Yeah.
because I love these people.
Yeah.
I love my Father's children.
Yeah.
That just makes the cross that much more like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
But
saying?
then also the fact that he knew that he was there to be a sacrifice for us and
Mhm.
still was sinless and blameless.
100%.
But he knew that, because, like, respectfully, I don't know how he put up with us.
For sure.
Like, I don't know how he put up with the slander and,
Mhm.
like, he's literally showing people day in and day out that
Right.
I am the Son of Man,
Right.
and y'all don't believe him.
Mhm.
And we, to this day, some people still, even in the faith, don't believe
Mhm.
what he's done
Mhm.
or don't appreciate it,
Mhm.
right? And so it's like he lived 33 years
Mhm.
knowing what the end was going to be,
Mhm.
and still, because, like, you know how, like, some people, they'll get, like, what's that movie, Last Holiday with Queen Latifah.
Mhm.
She got a diagnosis that she was going to die,
Mhm.
right? And she went and balled out,
Mhm.
right? Like, she blew every dollar she could
Mhm.
possibly, every dollar she had.
Right.
She turned in all her savings bonds.
Right.
She blew everything. And
Right.
she went and bought up every piece of fine food, went
Right.
skiing, jumped off the side of a dam, like,
Mhm.
not knowing, like, she had a parachute thing, but, like, just living life on the edge, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And some people, I think, if they think that, like, this is how they're gonna go out, they're gonna go wild out and probably do some crazier things,
Mhm.
being mean to people, not having a care in the world,
Mhm.
right? Whole time he knew the end, and still not a sin was committed.
Mhm.
That's kind of crazy.
No, it is. I mean, his life in general is just
Wild.
wild to me.
Yeah.
I think I think about, like, Jesus, fully man, fully God, right? But, like, Jesus was I the thing that I think I would love to ask Jesus whenever I get to see him. What were you like as a teenager?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't have a ton.
Yeah.
We got, like, that one story where he, like, stayed behind and was teaching in the temple
Yeah.
as a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
teenager, and his parents like, "Where you was at?" He was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"I was teaching." You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, like, me as a teenager and just, like, thinking about, like,
Being a teenager.
being a teenager
The thought processes of a
is
teenager.
insane.
Yeah.
When you're saying, like, remain blameless, remain sinless,
Yeah.
like, it's wild to just think about, like, dang,
Yeah.
But also I think it gives us a picture of, like, what we ought to be striving for.
Yeah.
Knowing, like, we will never reach that, but it's
Right.
like,
But also what God created us to be initially,
sure,
right? Because, like,
sure,
and that's why I think being saved, being born again in Christ is such a big thing as well. Because,
Mhm.
like, to be renewed by Christ is literally meaning I'm trying to get basically back to where He desired me to be. Because when we were conceived, when we were placed in our mother's womb, He knew us before we were born into this world. We
Mhm.
weren't sinful. We were born into a sinful world. Therefore, we took on a sinful nature. But
Mhm.
in our mother's womb, we were created exactly how God intended
Right.
us intended for us to be
Right,
before Adam and Eve did what they did.
right, right.
Right. So it's like, even thinking about that, it's like, okay, Jesus was, like you said, I would be intrigued to see what it was like too, because it's
Mhm.
like he was born into a sinful world and stayed sinless.
Mhm.
We were born into a sinful world, took on the nature of the world,
Mhm.
but it takes us coming to Christ to be able to try to pivot and get back to what God intended for us to be
Right, right,
anyway.
right, right.
So,
Yeah.
honestly, being no, like I said, having the foundation of, I don't know if I said it already or not, but having the foundation of kind of knowing these Bible stories already
Mm-hmm.
from being in church, and then coming into knowing the Lord, knowing Jesus for myself, knowing Jesus for ourselves, is honestly it's kind of like I don't want to say a weird dynamic, but like it's just interesting because like, okay, I've known this my whole life, but it has such a different meaning
Mm-hmm.
than it did when I was 12. I didn't know what it was when I was 12. I just knew he was in children's church. I was coloring pictures and eating snacks.
Mm-hmm.
But now I highlight words and eat snacks. We still eat snacks.
You do be eating
I do
snacks.
be eating snacks.
Yeah.
But it's just such a beautiful, I think, culmination, at least from my vantage point, um, to have the head knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
but for the head knowledge to turn into heart knowledge.
Just I want to turn it just matches.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
never lost that knowledge.
Fair, 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 fair. Yeah,
It's like your heart just caught up to your head,
yeah,
and I think that's like the real thing of it all, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it didn't turn. Like,
Fair.
you never lost the thoughts that you had
Right.
when you were young,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
anything. Like you said, it was Psalms 23. Like we
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
lost that,
Right.
right? But our heart is now like in this posture of like, oh, I feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
just
yeah.
read it and see it.
I don't just know it.
like I feel
yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying?
Fair, fair, fair.
So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think we got to wrap.
Yeah.
I think this is me going on a tangent here. As a big brother
Mhm.
to you, this is the coolest thing that I've done.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like sitting on your couch in Connecticut. It's cold outside.
You may have to tell the people where I stay, but it's okay. Y'all don't know where in Connecticut I live.
It's cold outside.
It is.
And we talking about Jesus. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
not a lot of siblings can say that they do this or can
Right.
do this, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know how we be doing this. You know what I'm
Wasn't
saying?
on the bingo card for 2026.
I wasn't on the bingo card for my life.
Fair. Fair.
Like, for real. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that, we can pray and hope that our friends and our family and people,
Yeah.
like, get captured by the Lord. But there's a lot of people who pray and their
Doesn't
family
happen.
doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, just like as your big brother, I'm proud of you.
Thanks, bud.
For real. So, yeah, you rock. I love you a lot. And I think it's just cool that you're doing a pod,
Yeah.
and are trying to, I don't know, just like trying to like be a light, and I don't know, I think it's just super cool to see you like come into your own with your walk with the Lord as you kind of like come into your own as an adult too. So
Yeah.
Shout out Joy Scott. And I just said your middle name. So
Yikes. And yeah, we're gonna get out of here because one thing y'all aren't gonna do is catch me in tears. So, thanks for coming and talking to me on my couch on
For
the
sure.
pod. Thanks for gracing Untitled.
for sure.
This has been another glorious episode of Untitled Conversations. We talked about everything faith, life, and the world as we know it. So we covered all of our bases today. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share, drop a comment, follow on Instagram, all of the stuff that's in the description. Just do that, have fun with it.
What Cam Newton say? One pinky, one finger,
No.
one thumb.
That's his. That's not ours.
Oh,
That's his.
love.
No. Anyway, make sure y'all follow him on Instagram at Josh Shipman 3.
That's it.
That's it. Also,
You don't have to follow me either.
No,
but-
give him a follow. I mean, he doesn't post, but give him a follow.
I'll be posting sometime. I post important stuff.
Christmas.
Important stuff.
Anyway,
I post my story all the time.
no, you don't.
Yeah, I don't be posting stuff for myself, but I be posting.
Anyway, make sure y'all follow him on Instagram. Give him a like. Give him a follow. Don't turn on your post notification because he doesn't post. But yeah, I'll put it right here.
There it is.
Josh Shipman 3. And yeah, we will see you guys. Well, he won't see you guys. In the next episode. We don't know.
won't.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe we do a Zoom
We can
pod.
do a Zoom. We can. Maybe. We'll see what happens.
We gotta see who you gonna have on next.
I don't know. I really don't.
Oh,
There will be another guest. Who y'all want to see? Y'all was supposed to do that in the last episode or something like that, but
We gotta get TC up here on the pod.
who knows?
Big Butter TC.
We're always open to guests and conversations, so it's just a matter of who the guest is for said conversation.
You gotta get Jam on the pod at some point.
I do. She got to come up here and visit me though.
You gotta get Jam on the pod. Why you didn't get Mom on the pod when she came up here?
Don't know. We were busy.
That could have.
Anyway,
we're
going off on a tangent. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next episode. I don't know if it will be next week or the week after that or the week after that, but make sure y'all stay tuned for the next episode. I appreciate you guys for being here with us. With all that being said, until next time, peace out.
One love. Peace.